Hello, Anthony.
Good morning, good evening to you.
Good morning to you then.
Yeah,
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling awesome.
Good.
Beautiful sunny day here in the U.S., Seattle, Washington area,
hmm
and I'm always glad when the sun is out.
Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's always a good day when the sun is out. Have you been having like a tough winter so far in there?
No, no. Surprisingly, it's been fairly warm here for January. By this time, we should already have at least one snow,
hmm
but we haven't had that yet. So I'm glad for that because I didn't have to do too much moving around with my trees yet. I have several trees, and so that would be a huge task.
How temperature wise, how it is? Because here in our area, when it's snowing, usually it doesn't get as cold as when it's not snowing. Like, how does it feel for you?
Right. This morning, I looked this up so I can tell you in Celsius. It's minus 2.8 Celsius, uh, which is 24 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Okay.
So it's pretty cold. It's frosty, but I'm okay with it because it's sunny outside and just loving it.
It is the temperature is like an average or like the minimum in the evening nights.
This is the low right now. This is the low. It'll get up to, well, yesterday it went up as far as around 50 plus 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
hmm
So
So
I'm not sure what that's converted to in
Yeah.
Celsius.
Okay, it was 20, around what is 2.8 was 25, 20.
Something like that.
Okay, so okay, oh, well, it gets quite warm.
Yeah.
it's
I mean, it's warm for January.
Okay, okay, okay.
However, I'm very cautious because around February next month,
hmm
I remember last year we had some light snow, and
hmm
so I think that it could hit anytime, but I'm just gonna enjoy it.
yeah.
But by the way, I wanted to thank you and Bonsaigers for including me in your contest. It was fun. I appreciate that, and also being in the same league as all the other great bonsai artists. It's an honor.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you. It was a really special treat that you brought. With I mean, it's the way that it grows, a little bit of a multi trunk. I saw that you've been purchasing from a person that is selecting your Yamadori material, right? Do you want to tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So originally, this guy was collecting landscape trees. So he would go up in the mountains, collect some landscape trees. And I got to know him in a few years, and I told him this is what I do. I do bonsai. I gave him some parameters on what to look for as far as bonsai. And the last 3 years, he's been honing into those type of trees. Uh, except when I saw this tree for the very first time, I gotta admit that it wasn't a tree that I would have right away seen as a bonsai. It was pretty rough. It didn't look anything in my vision that could turn into a nice tree. However, out of the more like, hey, you're doing this for me out of the goodness of my heart, I'll buy this tree from you. And so that's how it started. And I was very thankful that he kind of almost insisted that, hey, this is a good tree. And then when I started into studying it, and I realized, wow, that is a good tree. So if you think about that, Engelmann spruce, it's got a trunk of about, I would say, close to 8 inches
Okay.
at that height. And so I also,
But in diameter or circumference?
I'm sorry.
And 8 inches in diameter, or
Circumference.
Diameter.
Okay.
Yeah, diameter,
Okay.
not comfort. So if you look at the very bottom, the nibari, it's very thick.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm comparing that with another tree that I have. Is also an Engelmann spruce. It's only got a trunk about an inch and a half, inch and three quarters maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that tree is probably at least 30 plus years old,
Mm-hmm.
40.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a tree of that size. It has to be very old.
Yeah.
So so when I realized how old this tree is, and you can see the barking on this, I knew then I had a gem. And so that's when I kind of hone in and figure out how to really bring out the best of this tree. And I would have to say the pot that is in for this contest, it's not the ideal pot. However, it's such a large tree that at the time I repotted it, that was the only thing I had available. But I mean, this is a mountain tree. It kind of gives it that very wild look to it. So I think I'm happy at this point so far, but it could use some improvement for sure.
yeah, I mean, it's a really special tree. The multi-trunk form, and I mean the size always becomes a struggle when it's time to choose the right pot for it. There's not many people that usually complain when you put a rock stone for a mountain tree. It actually looks pretty cool. Is really chunky as a pot. As it feels like it could help a little bit less weight towards it, because now that you're saying that it has such a big trunk, it makes it look a little bit smaller almost.
Yeah. It's that was the disadvantage of this natural pot. It's actually a lava,
Mm-hmm.
and compared to like the man-made, say concrete or ceramic, it's very heavy. It's very dense.
Mm-hmm.
And so to move that tree around, I have a lift, and I have two, three other guys with me. So that's a disadvantage. And it's obviously it's harder to go and bring it to shows and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, I think it'll get more developed and improved.
How tall is it? Is it like a meter high?
Um, Probably close to that. It's about four. I want to say 40 inches high.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 40 inches high, so it's 1 meter and 20, more or less. Big one, big one. Are you working with a lot of big trees? Like because we've been just traveling to Croatia to meet Andrija Zokic, and in there, like the trees are massive, and it feels like many artists have some kind of size that they aim to. There's people that like the show-in, people it's like in maybe the medium size because maybe they're easier to sell. How what is your process?
Good question, but I love bonsai in general. So I have trees this big, all the way to even taller than the one I use in the contest. I have one that's close to 5 feet tall. So
Mm-hmm.
I have various sizes, and I enjoy them all. I like working with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But so I do collect a lot of urban yamadori, and they tend to be larger pieces. And so I have one dogwood with trunk, very large.
Mm-hmm.
And so I I'm not I'm not discriminatory in terms of size. So yeah, I enjoy all of them.
Okay, okay, okay. What about the sourcing of the material? Are you having a landscaping business, right? like yeah. So like, do you find a lot of material through that business?
I so like I said earlier, my favorite one of my favorite material to use is urban yamadori. People's basically people's trash. So there's a lot of mature shrubs, trees that are available that you know homeowners just don't want anymore.
Mhm.
And I take him and I have a place in my yard I call the purgatory. So I put it in the purgatory for about a year and see if they make it. I don't do a lot to it other than make sure that they survive.
Mhm.
And once they survive the 1 year season, then I have a chance to potentially make these as a land or a bonsai tree.
Mhm.
And the reason I like using them is more of a challenge for me. I get a lot of satisfaction creating a nice bonsai out of trash, really.
Mhm.
People take this as like, hey, take it to the compost bin and whatever you want to do with it. And uh, I've only had a couple of people that I work for that seen some of the trees that I removed from the yard, and they were surprised how well it became. And so to me, that's a great satisfaction to create something beautiful out of something ugly.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, I love Yamadori, right? I enjoy them, and they already look old. But to me, the urban Yamadori already has that age look to it, and I do feel that, it doesn't take as much to create that a bonsai out of those material, but to create a bonsai out of something that doesn't even look anything close to a bonsai is it's fun. It's a fun challenge for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's a nice challenge. Exactly. Also, like you might have the chance to work with so many different species in that case, and and many times also, like, I mean, if you save them from like an edge or a bush that has been trimmed over and over again, you have that good ramification and movement.
Yeah, there are some of those. I have salvaged junipers that were used as a hedge plant,
Mhm.
and they were just matted together, and we salvage as much as we can.
Mhm.
And if you see photos of the before, I mean, you wouldn't think that this would become a bonsai. And then a few years later, in fact, I did a couple of trees that were salvaged from a a landscape, and within maybe 5 year time period, I was able to use a couple of those trees in one of my garden show. So I was able to create a tree that looks good enough for a display at a garden show.
Mhm.
So that was very satisfying. But in terms of like variety, the one of the very first one that I collected from a landscape is a viburnum bush. So you know what a viburnum is? It's
Mhm.
typically like a shrub. It's got you know white flowers. The flowers almost look like a hydrangea flower,
Mhm.
but the wood is fairly soft.
Mhm.
But this viburnum had a very large trunk. It's about almost like a foot wide.
I'm checking the species here because I actually don't know the viburnum.
Viburnum or American cranberry bush is the name.
Ah, okay, 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 okay,
American cranberry bush.
okay. A foot long nebari.
Yeah, yeah. The trunk was a very thick trunk.
Okay.
When I collected it from the landscape,
Uh-huh.
this shrub or tree was about 8 feet tall. The
Okay.
whole trunk was 8 feet tall, and that was in the beginning when I was still trying to figure out a lot of the techniques.
Mhm.
But these days, so then it's been it's been now compacted to about this tall.
Okay.
About maybe 2.5 feet tall.
Mhm.
And it's a little bit more ramified, but because this is a shrub, it took a while.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, but with bonsai it takes a long time, especially, I mean, if you see with Yamadori, there are some lucky ones that are quite done maybe in 5 years, but many times it takes a long time, especially with those deciduous. Like when they lose the leaves, there's there's no chance to hide the bad parts, so it takes time.
Correct.
Awesome.
Now,
Awesome. Awesome.
oh, sorry, no, didn't mean to interrupt. Can I ask you a couple questions for you?
Yes, of course, of course.
I see on Instagram you post a lot of conifers you're working on. You're in Italy, you're kind of more high altitude, correct?
Yeah, we're just at the bottom of the Alps here in Como. So like, hmm? Yeah, a lot, a lot. Our area is mostly, when it comes to conifers, is mostly spruce, the the white spruce, the Picea abies. So many of those, and at a lower altitude, you find all of those field elms, a lot of field maples, all of those materials. It's quite it's really different also from place to place. You can find Fraxinus, you can find Pinus sylvestris. You find a little bit of everything. Depends on the location. Our area, I would say, there is mostly spruce, but as you can see, also we have here. Wait, Whoop. This one is a pine, of course. This one comes from the western side of the northern part of Italy, so is in Piemonte, that area, and we got a lot of trees from an artist that passed away. As you remember that you commented on the post. It was Mao.
I thought you, yes, correct. His name is Mauro as well,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, it was like a couple of weeks before that. It was supposed the other Mauro was supposed to come to your place.
I thought, what Mauro? And no Mauro is about to come to my house.
Different person. Luckily, we wish all the best to to the other Mauro. But this is it's part of the collection of this artist that gave the trees to us. And there's a lot of Pinus sylvestris and Mugo. All, yeah, they've been cultivated for around 40 years, 30, 40 years. So they have the nice nebari, but the artist himself was, he had his own way of working on the trees, was doing complete defoliation on pines. So, I mean, the ramification is really leggy and special looking. That makes them a fantastic raw material, but they need some years to get back on track. They had a lot of trees, so many of them are in poor condition when it comes to the container. So the soil is completely decayed. There's no percolation. So this spring is gonna be there's gonna be a lot of work when it comes to repotting. Also because this is you know, there's around we need to report around 150 trees. So it's yeah, and it's also like this one is one of the big ones. The other ones are, you know, a little bit medium size, probably around 40 to 50 centimeters tall, but they're old. So the condition of the roots, and we need to work really delicately on it. Otherwise, we can risk a lot. But
Just to so the soil aggregate you guys use, do you use Akadama and pumice and
yeah, yeah, yeah. We do mostly we do Akadama and pomis and organic soil. Here it gets really warm in the summer, so it having the organic matter helps us a little bit with the watering. Not that much in the warmer days, but yeah, it's mostly Akadama and pomis. Now we're yeah with the conifers we're having a higher percentage of pomis inside. With the deciduous and the broadleafs we have mostly we have a smaller percentage of pomis and more of Akadama. But those are the three types of substrates that we use mostly.
I see, I see. Okay. Do you have pretty access to Akadama there? I mean, pretty easy access, or do you have to? What's your
We like selling tools and I mean we have a lot of contacts with companies that are selling those ones those materials. But I wouldn't say that it's easy to source Akadama. Pomis is quite easy to find in different sizes, but Akadama, yeah, it's a little bit tough. We hear that everybody had their own take. Like we were talking with Ivo Santos from Portugal. He was talking about like starting using local substitutes for Akadama. Here, I don't know if we figured out that yet. I know that in Sardinia there's somebody testing different type of soils that are similar to Akadama. There's people that is using tiles from the roof, repurposed and destroyed to turn into that size that the Akadama is. But we are still stuck to the Akadama, and it's not so easy to find.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's we're in the same situation here in the US. I think the issue is that we don't have the mining capacity to. I mean, I think there are similar aggregate here that is not yet mined, but imagine the resources needed to make that happen. So, but
For such a niche as bonsai, also, I mean, it's
but so pumice is very abundant, at least here, and depending on the sizes and how much dust you put in there, or if you do, I have used pumice here on virtually anything that I can plant, and they work really well. But you have to be mindful of how you water it.
mhm. But with Akadama, like you import from Japan, I guess, or there's something that it's similar in the states that you use.
I haven't really found anything that is for my own use acceptable. I mean, people use cat litter and all kinds of things, but the only other one that we use is we replace the Akadama with an organic material that is basically fir bark. It's bark, so it's
Okay.
organic. But if you kind of analyze the bark, they have like tiny tubes similar to Akadama.
Okay.
But the problem with that is it breaks down. It breaks down faster. So it's a good substitute for developing trees, but not for like more refined trees.
Hmm.
Okay, 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 okay. I see, I see, I see. Yeah, it's. I mean, I've been hearing about the cat litter, the cat litter. Did you ever try it?
Have I tried? No, I
No.
have not.
It's like when we were trying to figure out ways, especially in the beginning. Then we kind of, I mean, we kind of lose the the idea on that. But there's quite a few people that tries. I mean, if you don't find,
I think you have to really be, um, when you water it, you have to be really thinking about how much it's going to hold water. That's really the key, in my opinion. I mean, if you think about substrate, if you think about soil, it just basically one part of it holds moisture, the other part holds it drains and it it retains oxygen, right?
Hmm.
So if you have those components, you can play around with it,
Hmm.
and sooner or later you'll have a potential good mixture. But
Hmm.
no, I have not. I've not used a cat litter mainly because those are chemically processed, and I
Yeah.
don't want to include any of those in my root system.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Such a delicate environment that it's nice to keep it quite neutral. But what about? I mean, the landscaping business is something that it's quite it's fascinating to me because I mean many times with bonsai on the side you like people create those businesses. Do you? What is your experience with? Do you have any experience with Niwaki? With you do because the landscaping is more like on a design oriented, right?
Just like a lot of other profession, there are very niche different parts of landscaping that you can get into. For example, in the landscape business, some people just concentrate on installing irrigation, or some people just concentrate on installing hardscape like stones and pavers. Some people just concentrate on designing. Um, I went into landscaping because I felt that the landscaping business allows me to express my creativity, but also allows me to be closer to plants because I love plants. And so that's how I got into it. But my background is I went to school as a mechanical engineer, actually. So I worked in the field for a few years. While doing that, I was playing around with bonsai.
Hmm.
And that's how I got drawn into the landscape business because bonsai is um, very close affinity to Japanese landscaping.
Hmm.
And so while doing bonsai, I was also exploring Japanese landscaping, more of a hobby at first because I wanted to create a Japanese landscape for my own in my very first house at the time. Then come to realize I really enjoyed the whole process. It's like, wait, I can design and then install it. And so part of me being an artist, I enjoy that process of creating something. And then the other part of me being the mechanical part of me enjoyed the installing and figuring out how water feature works, how irrigation works. So I felt like it was a very good combination. And so around 2004, that's when I decided I think I'm gonna go full time with landscaping. So I basically quit my original my job at the time. I was working for a large mechanical contractor to do this. And you know, let's see, that was a while back, 20. 2004. That's 22 years. And I'm enjoying it. In fact, one, so I since then I've also participated at the some some shows here, the Northwest Flower and Garden Show, which basically is the third largest garden show in the world.
Okay.
It's second to the U.S. So I've been invited to create garden there, and it's been great. I've you know um created garden that won some awards and things like that. But uh, I know the largest garden show in the world is the Chelsea Flower and Garden Show,
Hmm.
and in May we plan to visit that garden show, and hopefully, I just was talking to my wife about this. Might be a good chance to go visit Peter Chan. I think most people know who Peter Chan is, so he's in London.
Yeah, we've been to the garden. We, we did. We participated to a contest where he was asking to put a title on a picture of his with an old tree that he had, and we won. So we got invited. Yeah, and wow, it's an amazing. I mean, it's the same that you see on YouTube.
Well, that was one of the reason I was thinking he's probably one of the most prominent YouTuber in Bonsai. So I gotta go see him while I'm there. So I'm gonna try to see if I can connect with him, and that would be amazing.
It's it's an amazing garden, and like it's I think has been doing great for the community, and with his trees he taught so much. There's people coming from all over. I think it's a really nice place to go. He has a lot of trees, different species, and the garden itself is really nice. He has a big pond, a few niwakis. He has also a beautiful what you call it, like an extra space in the garden with a roof on top. He does events in it. Is really well organized, and such a nice man. Like as I said, really welcoming.
A couple of his books, and one thing I realized too is that uh, Peter Chan was also an engineer.
Yeah, it's true.
Was also originally an engineer that turned into bonsai artist and bonsai guy, and so I kind of like I look up to him. So
How did it feel to take the leap from an engineering job to switch completely? I mean, it's been a while ago, but do you remember like how did it feel?
oh, I do remember. So part of the leap was basically the desire to just be more artistic, right? But the other part of that is the freedom of owning your own business, so that I'm able to kind of create um, my own work at my own pace and my own time. I would have to say later on I found out it's not really that easy, but doing that, making that leap was part of it was there was a little bit of naivete of my part, not knowing all of the intricacies of running a business. So I
Mhm.
know enough to run projects. I know enough to, run some of the spreadsheets that manage or, your finances and things. But there's a lot more to that than meets the eye. So prior to me actually moving in and jumping in both feet to go on my own business, a lot of it was just desire. I wasn't thinking like, how am I gonna pay for the payroll? How am I gonna pay the taxes when it comes? None of that came to mind, because if it did, I probably would have not started the business right away because running a business is a lot of work, but in the end, it was well worth it. Like I look back at it and I go, oh my God, I'm glad I stayed with it because these days I'm really enjoying the fact that I have a lot more freedom than if I would have been working for a company or somebody. And so I think that that's one of the biggest benefits for me. But in the beginning, it was all excitement, a lot of excitement. That's like, oh, finally, I'm gonna do this. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think is I mean like I've been growing up. My father was having his own company, small company, but like he always had this possibility to go. Like if there's like he's really much into mushrooms, like picking mushrooms. It's one of those that goes in the mountain when there's the possibility. And with mushrooms, for example, you can't plan. When you wake up in the morning, like there's your friends saying, "Oh, it's the time. They're coming." And like this freedom of choosing if I'm always working, but if I want to have the chance to take some time for myself, it's something that I think just that pays off a lot of the struggles that having a company does. So I completely understand. That's what drives us the most as well, I would say. Having, no, that's what is driving me and Davide in trying to do this endeavor, because it gives you of course it's an amazing, it's I mean is the best. You're working with trees, you have the possibility to talk with amazing people all over the world, but like this freedom of having the possibility to take the time that it's necessary for you to take care of yourself when you want, without needing to having somebody else to get an approval of. It's really powerful. Then of course, I mean, there's a lot of different, I mean, many times you can't really take the time off if you want, but it's a really powerful thing. Is I'm asking you for the leap because we've been taking the leap not long time ago. We left the daily jobs, and
were you working at another company before, or this is something that you do full time now?
no, yeah, now we're doing it full time. It's a full time endeavor. Is it's We started this September with it, because I was living previously. I was living in Malmo in Sweden. So like I was doing back and forth, and we were doing mostly the digital work together. Like it was mostly digital, and now that I moved in here, I mean, I can enjoy the change of seasons with the trees. I'm working much more with the trees, but also we have the possibility to, be full on. There's nothing like working together on a daily basis. Thank you, thank you. It's really, I mean, we're super proud of what everything is becoming, and turning into a job is definitely one of the best. Is
Uh, I think you guys are doing one thing that I admire what you've done so far is bringing in the community together with this contest, the recent contest. So I kind of have for me, I have a global vision that eventually that bonsai is going to do a lot more than just for our enjoyment, right? So that eventually we can create a lot more impact with bonsai. And, obviously our bonsai community is very one diverse, but also very accepting of all kinds of, you know, different parts of the world, different, uh, culture, right? And so I believe that there is something more to bonsai than just these small little trees that are beautiful. And something that I've been doing these beginner classes, which is basically kind of allowing people to. This is the gateway to becoming more involved in bonsai. Just having these classes that allow people to see what bonsai is all about. And one of the message that I've been saying over and over, and I believe this is partly true because I'm seeing some evidence, is that bonsai, when us the artists work on it, we put a lot of love and care to it, right? I mean, we have to. I mean, we have to like look at our trees and progress it into something beautiful, right? But because we work with organic material, you can feel it. It does feel like these organic material, these organism, they're live. They're picking up that energy of love and care, right? That we're putting into it. And then eventually when we show these trees to the public, I mean, it's so easy to see how much love and care was put into these trees from the standpoint of a audience, right? Because you can see when you approach a tree that's been well loved and kept, you know that there was a lot of love involved in there, right? And then as people see this, they can feel that same energy emanating from this tree. In my opinion, to me, that's one of the great purpose of what we do, is that now we're able to spread that love to the world. Don't you agree?
I do agree a lot. A lot. Actually, I've been hearing before, the topic that bonsai is not really for the masses, because not everybody has the possibility to, take care of the trees as much as we artists do. Uh, I mean, there's different point of views. I think that everybody could have the chance to work on one tree. It's something that everybody has. A tree at home, maybe that could be also like a plant, like a monstera or a ficus, something that you know people can just have a different approach to it, see it in a different way. But the thing is that I see the way that changed me and Davide, and I mean we're trying to do like a project where we talk a lot about actually how bonsai is influencing the way that you live. So a lot of people has the same experience that we had. Bonsai gives you the possibility to see the world surrounding you with a completely different eye.
I totally agree.
I mean, like we're surrounded by nature everywhere. That both that you're living in a city or in nature. Of course, in nature you have much more vibrant nature, but you have the possibility to see the beauty of the season, the beauty of each specimen, each tree, the way that it bends, the way that the cork of a certain species is different from another. Is all of those details that allow you to be much more conscious about what you're surrounding of. That it's many times we place our. I mean, I've been living in Malmö for like 5 years, 6 years, and in Sweden you have a big difference. You have a lot of natural spaces, forests, fields, mountains. You have it all, and you have those small cities. There are compared to what we have here in the Milan area. It's you have really small cities, and you're living in completely detached from the rest. You take a car ride for 20 minutes and you're lost in nowhere, and living in a town completely detach you from it. And I think that bonsai could actually be that maybe not for everybody, but like a bridge that connects the man more to nature, because in the origin we are nature as well. We're not something different. So I completely agree with what you're saying. It's could definitely be something that, in my opinion, could change the world. It's just that for so many years it was so distant. You're not agreeing.
No, I'm saying yes. I am agreeing. I just I that twitch in my head was more of an agreement. uh, um,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
just
that
that
it
no,
it
was
was
I
so
so
far
far
away
away
for
for
so
so
long.
long.
Like being a Japanese tradition, is something that really doesn't belong to us. But I think that it's 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 definitely more accessible. I don't know if we ever gonna embrace it as much as they do in Japan, but those courses we're doing them as well, the beginner courses, and people is really, I don't know, like it feels like there's a craving for a reconnection with like putting your hands in the soil, finding the beauty in those small things.
yes, I agree with all of what you just said there, and I want to kind of also dovetail what you said about us connecting with nature. That I so if you think about how humans evolved, right? I mean, we evolved with nature. It's always been like we didn't have all these buildings, we didn't have cars, and so we already are in tune into perceiving nature the way we're supposed to when we were evolving, right? Now in the modern times, it's changing because more and more people now with their phone in their hand, they're basically becoming more and more distance from nature and not remembering how it was supposed to be. But there are so much benefits of connecting with nature. You and I know that, like you said, you're able to like observe nature in a different way, even your surrounding in a different way. It feels like to me, knowing and practicing bonsai, it's almost like, let's say that somebody's watching TV and they're watching the old 1990s TV, they're very staticky. For me, it's more like watching TV in three dimension, more than HD. Like you get all the little details come to life, right? And so, but the thing is that there are many more benefits than we know in terms of like the connection with nature. Because we all know that when you go for a walk and you know about you've heard about the forest bathing and how a lot of the benefits happens when you go for a walk. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
what is the one unit in nature that most of the time is always there? It's the trees, right? It's the trees,
Mhm.
and the trees now being within our reach in a small scale would give us similar benefits, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I get a lot of students that come from the tech world, and part of the reason they wanted to take bonsai is because they're working in the virtual world, and something tactile, something very physical that they can work with is very refreshing for them.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. It's I mean, it is really much a medicine in a way. I mean, like walking into a forest is it's much more enhanced because you're surrounded by 360 degrees. But working on a small scale, it definitely puts you in. It puts all your focus into something that it's natural. I do definitely agree. I do definitely agree. Is a really powerful tool to know better about what is surrounding us, but also what is going on with us as well. It is a really powerful tool. I definitely agree, and I'm looking forward to see how the future is gonna be. We are working on this. We went to Andria, as I was saying before, in Croatia, because we wanted to document the whole process of doing bonsai and how they do it and how the this art form is also representing the land where it's made from. So we're working on the production of a content that it's a little bit of a bridge for the not like so specific and full of technical words that maybe scares away and puts bonsai in a little bit of a distant place for the normal person, but something that is a little bit more of a bridge that can connect those artists with the general public. So we're trying to do our best to try to connect.
You guys are on the right track. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful for the future. And I mean, as you were mentioning before, Bonsaigers X is getting a lot of traction in the years. We have amazing artists as yourself, but also the other 31 trees that have been participating have been. We were stunned by the quality of the trees that we managed to.
Beautiful trees. I almost feel sorry for the judges to select one tree, right? No, I don't feel sorry for them, but the challenge of trying to, pick one, and I did see that one snippet from Walter Paul saying like it's like choosing one kid from all of the the 32, and I can kind of see that.
Yeah, it was yeah, we've been talking actually the live stream that we had the last week went on YouTube now, so if people that didn't see it can catch up. But it was really nice to hear him talk about the judging process and how it felt to discuss about those trees, because the way that the tournament is structured is it's confrontations like one against the other, so it's a little bit different from the usual. It makes maybe the job a little bit easier than just to choose the best in between those 32.
Great. I wanted to just kind of a little bit of a side note there, because you said like competition, how you did the brackets and things. It was kind of neat. We're in so I don't know, here in the U.S. The American football season is at its height. So I'm not sure if you follow that, but in next month is what they call Super Bowl. Super Bowl, which basically the two top teams are gonna compete, and it so happened that our team here in Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks, one of the football team, is up there. So next week there's one more competitor, and then they'll go to the very top, the Super Bowl. So we're crossing a finger. Hopefully, they'll make it up there. But it's kind of a good thing to talk about, how you put the competition together. It's kind of similar idea, which is I like the way you did it, because the crowd gets to participate, and then the judges also get to participate as well.
Yeah, it worked really good. We tested it. Like, it wasn't something that we planned on having like that from the beginning. At first it was just a community vote, and it didn't really work the way that we wanted. We wanted to have a little bit more we wanted to have somebody like the judges giving more importance to the competition, and the way that it come out, it's pretty good. Like, there's not much that we want to change about it. We would like maybe next year to add the best scenario would be if we can manage to have different categories divided by size and type of tree. If like having conifers against conifers, deciduous against deciduous, that would be the best. But for the way that the brackets work, and the judges and the community are working together to express their work, we're really happy to how it came out. It's gonna grow in the years, and we're gonna make everything that we want it to happen. But for now, we're really really happy. It has been already so much growth from the first year. We couldn't even reach the 32 trees that we wanted to have in the beginning, and now we have well exceeded the number of trees, and the quality is high, and we have great judges in it. I really like the possibility to speak with the artists that are actually working on trees around the world, and participating in the event as well. So I'm really happy how it comes out, and I'm happy that artists like you are enjoying it too.
No, like I said, I'm really glad that I was included. My mind is thinking now. Uh, since I've already been in the competition, would you accept repeat competitors if we're invited?
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm trying to keep the different trees. I call like it's, but we had plenty of people that has been participating many times. Andrea has been participating maybe 4 times over the 5 that we did. Maros as well. The only thing that we want to keep changing is the judges, because we would like to get in contact with more people, and give the possibility to give to other people the spot. So
I mean, not saying I will, no promises there, but it would still be a fun idea to do it again. I feel that having a bonsai um, competition like this makes everyone better. Because obviously, right, we gotta hone our skills and be able to create great bonsai. And so that's my feeling about this, is that it's not really a competition. It's really more like, hey, you gotta evolve to the next level in order for you to get good, have nice trees, right? And so, in my opinion, it's just gonna make the whole community better,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
an
no,
inspiration for people. Yeah, inspiration for people as well.
yeah, it is a great. I agree. I was talking with Richard about, especially for the people that doesn't have the possibility to exhibit otherwise. This is an easy way of, like, I mean, you take a good picture, you have the possibility to exhibit in a world stage against trees from all over the world. And many times, like for him in South Africa, or like for the artist in South America, many of them didn't have the possibility to go on such a stage, just because of the location where they're located, because the trees are stunning. We had an example last year with Pechin that brought this Calliandra. I didn't even know that existed like such a tree. And then in 3 years, like he pick it in the desert and it brings it on a stage, and he has judges like Jonas or Andrei have been looking at it, and giving such great feedbacks. So much that he win. He won last year, and I mean it's from Brazil. I don't know if there's a big exhibition in Brazil that give the possibility to the artists to showcase such trees, but anyway, I think it's a good win, at least for us, to see a new kind of species being brought to excel in that way.
Absolutely. Now, something came to mind, and I haven't really looked at all the competitors in the past, but um, have you guys had any competitors from the Asia area?
We've been having an artist from Korea, uh, like maybe in the first year. The second year we got somebody from Japan, and maybe Singapore. But no, we are much more focused with our content and the marketing to the western side of the world, and I think that's a little bit. It doesn't put us in a good spot for the eastern side. We tried with having Master Matsusue as a judge this time to try to get more appeal from that part of the world. It would be amazing to have some great Japanese trees, of course, but for now it's still something that we are trying to develop. But we had some. I'm so bad with the names. It's Yang So, something like that. Yeah. Sorry. I think it was the artist from Korea, but I mean now like I don't really remember all the trees, but I remember like this massive Kishu juniper that has been entered, like the typical kokofu like trees. Um, Really massive Moyoji trunk with the huge dome and so on. Really proud of that. But somehow I don't know if maybe the appeal moved more toward the western part of the world in the last years, and it kicked out a bit the eastern. But next year we're probably gonna put some. Yeah, is. This was the tree, one of the trees. There was a Korean hornbeam, but yeah, it's. I mean, I remember other ones as well, but it's. We're gonna maybe we should do a post with all the bests from the past seasons as well, because the first years like we had some great trees like because in the beginning was a little bit like it's a new kind of competition, especially in the east are much more connected to the way that they look like they're not selling many trees online because they don't want to see like maybe that they don't sell. I mean, there's a big tradition of trying to excel, so I was surprised that in the beginning we got such beautiful trees, but so I mean, maybe we should do
I'm just thinking about it because it probably would be better. I mean, even though your market is probably more on the western side, but I think in terms of diversity, I think it would just help you,
Mhm.
you know, have more of that prominence. I think so. As you know, I mean, bonsai supposedly started in Asia, but now it's all over the world, and but I think I'm thinking of it for a selfish reason because I do follow some of the Philippine bonsai people, and I would love to see them compete here. They have some great trees back there.
I definitely agree. I'm a big fan of the old tropical scene. Is like living in the north for some years. I basically started with indoor trees like tropical. So I have a couple of ficuses that I've been working on for some years, and I take a lot of inspiration from that part of the world. They do some crazy stuff, like the bands that they do, rooting everywhere. It's some crazy stuff. I would really love to go and see what they do. It's really different from what we have, and they're looked down many times from the west, and like the tropical species, having them indoors, it doesn't really. Many people don't like to do so.
It's actually
But
harder to keep for us Westerners who are in the up northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. That's colder. Obviously, it's gotta have a greenhouse. But
yeah,
yeah,
but there's possibilities to do great stuff. It's
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I keep a little bit of tropical on myself. In fact, the I'll show you here in my window. I got some here, but I mean, it's just a little taste, a little taste. There's a lot more to do there. So yeah, I mean, hopefully, in the future, you guys will include some of that bonsai from that part of.
Yeah, I think that next year we're gonna put our focus in try to um, advertise also in that part of the world. The competition is getting bigger, so I mean it's good to try to implement also everybody. Like actually we have quite a big following from Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Thailand, and also Philippines. So it would be nice to see some of their beauties as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
But Anthony, I'm really happy that you joined us today. It was a real pleasure to finally speak with you. It was a pleasure to have you in the competition, and we're really looking forward to see what is gonna happen to this spruce that you submitted, and to see like what you're gonna have for us next year. Do you have something that you want to say to something to close up the conversation?
God, that's a. I just want to say again, going back to my message, in regards to bonsai as a potential vehicle for us to expand, the idea of, impacting the world in a positive way.
Mhm.
That you guys are part of this evolution. That eventually, that I mean, of course, I wish you all good luck and prosperity. But I think that most bonsai artists I know, at least, are always kind of in the positive mindset of moving things forward, right? And so my hope is that you guys continue to do this, that eventually will impact, the community that we touch in a very positive way. And I'm really glad to be part of that. And so I support you guys, and I have enjoyed joining this round of competition, and hopefully I'll have some good enough trees, more good enough trees in the future to continue that. And so yeah, um, I appreciate you guys including me, and look forward to seeing how you guys develop in the near future.
I'm really looking forward to see what you're gonna have for us in the next years.
All right.
But once again, Anthony, thank you so much for participating today. If the people that is seeing this, go and follow Anthony Tony Bonsaico on Instagram, and we see each other next week
Next time.
on Monday.
Yeah. Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you, Loris.
Thank you,
We'll talk to
Anthony.
you soon. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye now.
Bye.